So, here's a question for you guys. At what point do you admit defeat? That nobody wants to hear what you have to say? That your own individualistic voice just does not appeal to the masses? Now, the thing is, I've been working on YouTube on and off for years and years and years. And the way I see it, there's two explanations for my channel not being as popular as I'd like. Three if you want to stretch it. Explanation number one is pretty simple. I don't have an editor and my videos look like trash. Simply put, that if there was a higher amount of quality, then my content would be more seen. People would watch a video and they'd be like, oh wow, that video looks really good. And they would subscribe, and then eventually I would have a slow build up over time. This creates a problem, another issue, which is that I can't download videos regularly, like I can't make videos regularly, because of the amount of time that it takes to make a video. Every video takes days and days, and editing is a really long and intrusive process. You know, I just want to record the audio, edit the audio, and like fucking put the video up. But unfortunately, you know, I have to edit videos to match the audio. This isn't just like a radio podcast as much as I'd, you know, either like that to be the case or to have perfect videos just naturally edited to the things that I'm saying. But unfortunately, with no editor, I'm kind of fucked in that regard. I have to do the editing myself, and doing the editing myself is an absolute pain in the ass. So I don't make as many videos as I'd like to make, simply because they would be too hard to. So, number one thing that probably limited my potential on YouTube, didn't have an editor. Number two thing, I don't release regularly. Number three thing, chasing trends. Okay, so here's the thing. I wanted to start off as an anime and video game reviewer. Maybe movie reviews too. I've always told people I'm a reviewer. If people ask, like, what do you do on the internet? I say, I'm a reviewer. And this is because I've critically analyzed a lot of things, and I give my reviews over the phone to like my friends and stuff. My friends and family members will be like, how's this movie? And I'll be like, well, the cinematography was really good. The use of like Dutch angles and lens flare created a disturbing environment. And this music, when in combination with this lighting, created this alluring effect. You know what I mean? Like, I do like a should you watch for all sorts of shit all the time. All sorts of movies and video games and whatever, you know. Oh yes, the theme of this was conveyed very well through the use of this particular, you know, story mechanism or whatever. Or Shadow of the Colossus's game structure also reinforces this narrow luditative play, you know, whatever. Like, I fucking can go full out art house critique on whatever for hours and hours and hours. And you know, some people like those conversations. I have friends that, you know, sometimes that's exactly what they're feeling. Other times it's like, oh my god, I just wanted to know what you fucking, if I should buy it. You know what I mean? Whereas, you know, I always want to do a Demolition D deconstruct on the entire thing. Whatever it is. So, but I never got to make any reviews. Because I realized very quickly that getting clips for reviews was going to be hard, and I wanted to maintain a certain level of quality in my reviews. I wanted to show the things I was talking about, and since I could never edit videos well enough, I didn't really chase what I was passionate about on YouTube. Most of my videos are not reviews of things, despite how much I could really pick things apart and explain my thoughts and feelings on them. It didn't happen. You know, I'm a YouTube failure. I've been on this channel for 11 years and there just is not an audience. My remixes have got more views than my actual content does. My most popular video was when I was chasing trends, right? And that's another thing. I'm not willing to chase trends at all. You know, I could talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus right now if I really wanted to. I could be like, oh yeah, you could do ninja flips, and here are the new fucking Hisuian variants, and like, I could do that. Do I have opinions on it? Not really. I mean, it seems like they failed to do classic Pokemon justice in the last 2 generations, so they decided to abandon it for Pokemon Tenchu. And while I'm interested to see what Pokemon Tenchu is, the only reason that they're doing this completely new thing is because they have absolutely no idea how to deliver a modern version of what we all loved as kids, which is a fucking Pokemon game. And the truth of it is that they're bored of Pokemon and don't want to make Pokemon games anymore because they force Game Freak to release one of these a fucking year. You want a good Pokemon game? Give Game Freak 5 years to not have to make a mainline fucking game. I promise you that the next Pokemon game you'll get will be just fucking fine. But they don't do that. Instead, they force Game Freak to release a game a year. And the truth of it is that they're fucking done, which is the reason why they're not doing the Gen 4 remakes. A completely different game company is developing those, and it's the reason why they're doing Legends Arceus, because they want to work on something fucking different. We just want the same fucking game we had when we, generations 1, 2, and 3 over and over and over again with slight tweaks and graphical improvements, right? And when they can't deliver us a new game, and they can't deliver us an old game, they deliver us something middling and shitty, like Sword and Shield, which is too different to be a mainline series game, but it doesn't commit enough to any of those differences to have them actually be good. And it's sort of a mainline series game in the sense that there's gym battles and shit, but like they're all bad, right? So you play Sword and Shield and you're like, wow, this is not a good new game, and this isn't a good old game. Why the fuck am I playing this? Which is how I felt about Sun and Moon as well, except Sun and Moon had its own issues that were unique to it. And Sword and Shield is just a bad game with some really great DLC. But you shouldn't have to pay $70 for your game to be good. That's my same logic behind why I didn't like Kingdom Hearts 3 so much. You shouldn't have to pay $25 to get the completed version of a fucking game. It should come with a real ending. It should come actually complete. Anyways, but I could chase trends. I could chase trends and talk about, politics or about video games that are popular or whatever. You know what I mean? But I haven't done that. I haven't done enough of that. You know what I mean? You know what I should have done is after my Pokemon Sun and Moon kind of sucks video, I should have released fucking 5 million Pokemon videos. And then when Dark Souls became really popular, because I play Dark Souls, I should have fucking non-stop made Dark Souls videos for 5 years, and I would have like a 2 million view YouTube channel, and I'd be making like $100,000 a year, and it'd be great. But I didn't do that. I didn't set up a Patreon. I didn't chase any fucking trends. You know what I mean? I didn't talk about any of the popular shit soon enough, so... Because that's not what I want to talk about at those times. I want to talk about different things. I want to talk about stupid Star Wars theories at a time when Star Wars wasn't popular as much. I wanted to talk about stupid fucking Kingdom Hearts theories the day before the fucking game came out and none of them ended up true. I wanted to fucking, take all this time to make all these stupid videos that nobody watched about fucking hypnosis and magic and shit. I'm a wizard, so I'm like, I want to talk about what I'm passionate about, so let's talk about magic theory. People like that on the internet, and it's like, no, you see, I'm not a pretty attractive 20-something girl with like a nice haircut, who goes around and like mixes herbs in like a nice backlit room where the camera is so fancy you can see the dust in the window as I softly explain to you that this herb has in Culpepper's Book of Herbs the property where it soothes your lungs, and the goddess Freya or whatever is tied to this element. No, like I'm not that kind of wizard, right? I'm a totally different kind of fucking wizard. I'm very much like a scientist about the shit that I study. I'm very much like very frank about what I talk about. I don't pretend to be like quasi-enlightened just because I practice magic. I'm a real person that just happens to practice magic, right? It's like, when you encounter a religious person, whatever their religious belief might be, you encounter a Buddhist, you expect to meet a monk. Well, the reality is that not every Buddhist is a monk. You encounter a real Christian, you expect them to be a Catholic priest. Well, you encounter a wizard, and it's such an out there counterculture thing that you expect that's what this person is going to be all about. The truth is, though, is I love video games. I love anime. I love magic. I love science. I'm generally a lover of the world. You know, the specific things that I'm interested in, I'm really interested in. And I want to talk about all those things, not just the one fucking thing. So I don't focus on anything long enough for this to become the Magic channel, or the Pokemon channel, or the Dark Souls channel. I only focus on things long enough for me to enjoy making them, and then I'm like, okay, well, that was good. And then I move on to the next fucking thing. And because the videos are so hard to make, I don't make enough of them. So I am a YouTube failure. This is it. This is me, this is me fucking admitting it. This channel is not going to be popular. But you know what? That's okay. I had my moment in the sun. I had a video that had 30,000 fucking views. People knew who the fuck I was for 5 seconds. Cool. Awesome. The thing is, I have other fucking projects in the works. I'm making video games. I'm doing shit that I want to do. I'm the synthesis of everything that I want, my reviewing, my understanding of creative activities, my magic, the synthesis of everything that I'm into is not YouTube videos, guys. It's art. I like making art. Specifically, I like making video games and comic books and, animations and like that. So why would I give a shit that the channel isn't popular? I mean, I do, right? Like, it actually really hurts me because of the amount of effort that I put into fucking YouTube. But why would I let that, destroy my soul or whatever, that I'm this YouTube failure, when I was never trying to be a YouTube star in the first place? I just wanted to be popular enough on YouTube to have a platform to advertise my art. But guess what? I've realized something, guys. Hear me out. You know what's a great advertisement for your art? Making art. So the time that I used to spend making these videos that nobody watches, I now spend making things that I actually want to make, that are representative of who I am as a person. Instead of poorly presenting those ideas to you in unedited shit videos, I instead, go out of my way to create the best artistic endeavors that I possibly can. Right? So this has just been me fucking rambling. I'm not saying that I'm giving up forever on YouTube. I mean, it's possible that someday I will have made enough money with my art that I can make this into a successful YouTube channel where I can pay an editor and chase a trend and, hire somebody to keep track of the trends so I don't get fucking canceled or whatever. I'm sure I could become a YouTube star once I have money, but that's exactly the thing. This isn't going to make me money. My art is going to make me money. Me doing exactly what I want to do is going to make me money. I'm working on a game right now. I'm not going to tell you any fucking details about it because I have a different nom de guerre when it comes to working on games, so that, my regular life does not attach to my life as a creator. Because I think that in order for the death of the artist to actually be possible, the artist has to really die. And the only way for them to do that and still make art is to divorce their identity completely from the work that they're creating. So I have a completely Dr. Seussian, nonsense fucking identity that I use for my actual creative projects. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. Nobody ever will. I intend to keep it that way because I just want to make things without any of the bullshit. We can't just be people anymore. It's all labels and arguments and, politically he doesn't agree with me on this, so I can't do this, that, or the other. What's funny is that I don't even disagree with the mainstream about most things. You know what I mean? It's just that I acknowledge, because I'm a moderate, because I'm an extreme moderate, I acknowledge that every issue is a little bit more complicated than we let on, and that the people who oppose us ideologically are not necessarily just evil because they disagree with us about things. And that acknowledgement of the jointity that we have with the people we disagree with is enough that if I said some of the things that I think, I'd get canceled, not necessarily because I disagree politically with the mainstream left, but because of the fact that I disagree with the way we conduct ourselves in those arguments. So, some of the more extreme moderate things that I've said, it's weird to be an extreme moderate. How do you be an extreme moderate? I am a fucking fucked up old head, let me tell you that. Anyways, but yeah, so that being the case, I I don't want anything that I've said on my YouTube channel or in Facebook or whatever to come back and haunt me when it comes to my games. I just want to make my fucking video games and my books and whatever and not have to deal with people. You know, I imagine someday I'll be at a con or something and they'll be like, what is your opinion about fucking anything? And it's like, my opinion is that people should love each other and everyone should get along. And they'll be like, that doesn't seem like much of an opinion. And I'll be like, yeah, I know. It's because I just make fucking toys. That's it. That's all video games are, is art and toys. I make meaningful toys. That's it. If you want to extract some meaning, you're going to have to do it from my art. And even then, you're only guessing because art is subjective. You know, I'm never giving a clear answer as an artist because I think that it hampers the art itself. Although, for people who are actually legitimately curious about that now, they're like, ooh, what is his terrible opinion that he thinks he'll get canceled for? I want to know what aspects of this guy are problematic. Well, don't fucking worry. I'll tell you. You see how it is. I don't give a fuck. I just want people to be people. I don't care. Yes, like we all have horribly tragic experiences where we're all different and we're all like very different than everybody else and we're all alone and nobody takes the time to understand us. And why can't people just take the time to understand us? But guess what? That's not people's jobs. They're trying to get on with their fucking lives. Not everybody wants to be educated about the struggles that other people go through. Not everybody wants to be woke. You know why they don't want to go woke? It's because they have to go to fucking Walmart and work every day. They already wake up too damn early. They don't want to have to be woken up to your fucking crazy different lifestyle that they don't know anything about. Nobody gives a shit. Here's a reality that I was woken up to a long time ago. 90% of the world, and by 90% of the world, I actually mean like 99.99999% of the world does not know you exist. Only like 1,000 people or so know you exist. And even if you're like a super popular, famous person, only like a couple of 100,000 people know you exist, unless you're like a household, movie star or something. You're a TikTok influencer and you've got 2 million. That's a fucking baby numbers. Nobody knows you fucking exist. Nobody fucking cares, okay? So, that being the case, the only thing you can do is try to live your best life, where you conduct yourself in a consistent way with your morality. And if people see value in the way that you live, they will understand you as a person and conduct themselves appropriately, if they're reasonably good people. I'm an atheist. People think I'm a terrible, horrible asshole for not believing in God initially. But guess what I showed people over the years who got really shitty about me being an atheist? I showed them that not only was I still a human being, but that I was a nice, thoughtful, caring human being. And guess what? People started treating me like a fucking person again. If you're gay or trans or whatever and you act like you're not fucking insane and you act like a real person and you don't have like crying, screaming fits where you start punching things and screaming loudly and blowing tubas whenever somebody like gives an opposing opinion to yours, if you don't have like a critical fucking privilege meltdown every single time somebody questions you on shit that they legitimately know nothing about because they don't give a shit, if you actually act with dignity and fucking respect, guess what's going to happen eventually? Reasonable, well-intentioned people will take note of that and respect you. Okay? If you don't act like a fucking child whose toy was taken away, people will take the time to fucking respect you. That goes for the gays, that goes for trans people, that goes for black people, that goes for whoever. I'm not saying you should never rebel. I'm not saying you should never pitch a fit. I'm not saying you should never riot. There are conditions where people will come at you with deadly force because you're different. And that's the time to start flipping over cars and burning them and protesting at colleges and whatever. But if you are not currently facing violent discrimination, okay, then you don't have room to throw fucking pitch fits every 5 fucking seconds. You have to conduct yourself in any debate with a reasonable degree, this is called acting in good faith, with a reasonable degree of understanding that the person that you're talking to is a person, even if they hold an opinion that's different than yours. And the reason you conduct yourself that way is because you hope that's how your opponent conducts themselves towards you. See, that is the opinion. I know not everybody is nuanced enough to understand it, so let me re-summarize. I don't have a problem with people who are different. In fact, I am different. I have struggled with gender dysmorphia. I know a lot of people who are really different and really weird. I myself have autism. Okay, I'm a very different kind of a guy. I went through a severe fucking chronic depressive phase. I'm still kind of going through it in some ways. I have post-traumatic stress. I can literally be triggered by things. I am a sexual assault survivor. I am a different fucking person. And guess what? I'm even a liberal. Okay? I am on your side. I'm your ally. I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. But guess what? I'm also a problematic fucking millennial. Because I grew up in an age where you didn't limit what you talked about. People said exactly what they thought. If people were bigoted assholes, they said bigoted asshole things. And I prefer that to them lying because they don't want to get canceled. All cancel culture does is cancel people from being in the culture. And because of that, all of your racists and sexists and bigots or whatever go underground and form these Nazi KKK-like parties. And eventually, we're going to push so many people on the middle left and the far right or whatever underground, okay, that they're going to form this big cabal of people. And they're going to be like, we are not allowed to be people. And guess what? All the normies, all the cis hetero whatever that you want to fucking reject from society, that you want to make feel weird for being fucking normal, they're going to eventually be like, hey, we're bigger than them. We have more numbers than they do. There's more of us normie folk than there are of them weirdos over there. And then they're going to come and fucking get us. They're going to strip down all the progress we've made because we treated them like shit rather than teaching them how to treat us through the way that we treat them. We're going to treat them like shit and they're going to come back because there's more of them than there are of us and they're going to treat us like shit. That's my controversial opinion. I mean, this is probably the last YouTube video I'm ever going to fucking make, so I'm going to talk about shit that I actually give a shit about. Stop acting like fucking idiots on the fucking internet. Start treating people the way you want them to treat you in the future, because someday, those motherfuckers, those extreme assholes are going to get a charismatic leader that knows what they're doing that isn't Trump, and they're going to come back and they're going to stick hot pokers up our ass because we banned them from society. Okay? You understand? You get where you get what I'm laying down, soul brother. All right? You don't want people to be extremist and shitty towards you. You want people to have social responsibility and to act like they give a shit about people that are different than them. Then you have to act like you give a shit about not being a disruptive element in society. Okay? You have to act like you live in a world where gay people and trans people and black people and everybody else can live in society without disrupting it. Where changing the status quo does not mean making the world a worse place for regular people to live in. Yeah, it's fun to be like, oh, fucking Elmer Fudd is bad for the environment, and Pepe Le Pew is kind of sexist, and, fucking everybody's secretly racist and a part of the patriarchy and rape culture and whatever. Okay, so while you make all these normal people feel like shit about just, enjoying shit, well, you make them feel totally bad about enjoying regular, normal shit, somewhere out there in the world, somebody is being beaten to death for being weird and different. And there might not be as many laws as there should protecting that person. So while you're bitching about rape culture, you're not working on fundamentally fixing the things about society that need to be fixed. I mean, what are you guys doing about the whole abortions rights things, huh? How are you guys doing about the union rights thing? Unions have lost all of their rights to organize, so we're losing the middle class, and that's creating a big economic downturn. What are you doing about it? That's a liberal issue, union rights. People having the right to assemble and speak freely to get what they want out of their work so that they have enough to live is totally a fucking liberal issue. Where are you guys? Oh, I know where you are. You're bitching about shit that doesn't fucking matter on the internet to make yourself feel good. These are the things that make me an extreme moderate. This is the reason why my real identity is not going to be attached to my artistic identity, because I don't want to get fucking canceled by you fucking losers. I just want to make my art and have people enjoy it. Okay? So I don't know if this is going to be my last YouTube video or not. Probably. So, good news is if you're wanting to cancel me, I've canceled myself. Goodbye, farewell, we'll never meet again, but that's okay, cause this is fucking hell. Anyways, if I do make more of YouTube videos in the future, it's just going to be self-indulgent shit that I feel like screaming out into the ether because I know I'm never going to be a success on this platform, or it'll be because I've become rich and successful and have hired an editor and I feel like I can do this channel justice, and then I'll probably delete this video and go back to being a regular reviewer and make high quality reviews of things, because I could probably do more good that way than burning the candle at both ends like I am with this fucking video. God, I don't even know if I'll release this. It'll depend on how it sounds when I listen back to it. But we're going on 30 minutes, so this is the Blue Wizard signing out for now. You guys didn't appreciate Soul Arrow enough, so now this wizard is packing up his bag of tricks and going the fuck home. Okay? Okay. Alright, I'm not necessarily quitting YouTube, but I am saying goodbye to y'all tonight, and maybe eventually we'll try this again with an editor. What do you say? Alright, peace. Goodbye. This is Dr. Making Stuff / the Blue Wizard signing the fuck out.